all relationships that go wrong end because one of these three areas are neglected for some reason. If you ever had a partner who neglected one of these areas in your relationship, it will be easy for you to see how much these areas actually make a difference. At Aurora Vista, we offer therapy services, and every time a patient's relationship started to fall apart, it was because something was missing in one of these three areas, without exception. Let's start by naming these three areas, but of course the names are not what's important. What really matters is how these areas work. The first area is the logical area, which involves short-term and long-term goals. The second area is the area of emotional connection, which includes the things that make you want to be closer or more distant to the other person. And the third area is the romantic area of the relationship. That's why everyone that has disappointed you in a relationship dropped the ball in one of these three areas. And not only that, because dropping the ball happens, we're human, we make mistakes. But there are certain ways of dropping the ball that just won't cut it. We can't continue with that person unless they truly improve on that. For example, in the logical area, we all have goals and priorities, and sometimes the other person simply doesn't pay attention to what truly matters to us. And in the emotional connection, how does that even happen? You're in a relationship with someone, but they start to feel like a stranger. Because when this area stops working, there's no closeness anymore. We stop being connected. Don't even get me started on the romantic area. All of these areas are complex. I know they're not easy, but we need a lot of maturity to understand that each of these areas have extremely specific needs and they must be met. Otherwise, things simply won't work. And so, those moments when you have a problem in a relationship and the other person simply cannot understand your needs. I'm not talking about lack of communication, although we know communication is not a simple topic. And I'm not talking about when the person doesn't care, because if someone doesn't care, it's obvious they won't understand your needs. I'm talking about these moments when the person does care. They do try, but they still can't understand what's extremely important to you. When we say that the three areas of relationships, the logical, the emotional, and the romantic, have very specific needs, what we mean is that unless someone is paying very close attention, they won't be able to perceive what is missing for you. For example, have you ever received a gift that had absolutely nothing to do with who you are? Come on, everyone has experienced this at some point. It's a mixed feeling. There's gratitude because the person wanted to give you something, and at the same time, deep down, a sense of disappointment. Almost like the realization that the person doesn't really understand you. And even though gratitude is what we show on the surface, what truly stays with us is that second feeling, this subtle disappointment. I only bring this up because the same thing happens in relationships. When someone wants to do something nice for you but doesn't understand what truly matters to you, what your real priorities are, you feel that same sense of disconnection. And so, understanding human beings is already difficult. But if there's something worse than not understanding someone, is when a person thinks they understand you when they actually don't. If you had to describe the feeling you experience when someone approaches you and treats you in a way that has nothing to do with who you are, what would it be? Come on, getting tired of the person, disinterest, getting emotionally drained, and depending on how confident the person is in their wrong assumptions, it can even create a feeling of repulsion. That's why we always emphasize the importance of being in a relationship where the three most important areas, the logical, emotional, and romantic, are truly understood and not neglected. The first step for someone who is making this mistake with you is to let go of the false certainties they have about you, about what truly matters to you, about your needs. That's what opens the door for them to start perceiving you as you truly are. In therapy, we usually take 2 to 4 months of weekly work to address the most important aspects of these three areas. So people need to address this subject with care, because this is the process to build truly functional relationships.